out the gate. And for EG, you have to bounce back. That was a tough game to lose. I think there were a lot of mistakes in their team fights in terms of what they're even prioritizing doing, let alone what their hands were doing. So it's tough to bounce back not only when you lose, but also when you probably want to retro really hard about like, what did we do wrong there? And you have, you know, actually 15 minutes to go prep for a totally different opponent.
Yep, do have to kind of stay focused here. As note, Ahri, as we can see, has gotten through. It's going to be first pick, understandably, for EG. Kisee, though, feeling confident, has played this particular matchup a number of times already, is going to be taking the Vex. A bold gauntlet thrown by ORD, but one you kind of love to see.
I mean, Kisee's one of these people who has played a lot of champions, but Vex was his most played at a whopping 4 coming into the tournament. So this is, like you said, a champion he's very comfortable on, and I do like it in the sense that it is, assuming they take other engage, as they're also grabbing Nautilus here, it does give you a very easy team fight. We just saw how important that can be. For G2 in the previous game, Camille Galio, kind of know what you're going to do. With Vex, you're kind of going to go in and try and look for the right opportunity, land a big AoE fear, push them all around. It's kind of one of these press R champions, and that can give them an opportunity here, though it is a little less individual playmaking than we saw from them yesterday, where Kisee was actually able to find a solo kill onto caps and stuff like that when he was playing the Yone.
Yeah, a counter pick, but a different kind of counter pick here for Kisee once again. It is Nautilus for Corporal. Either that or Leona is where a lot of sports gravitate to, so no surprises there. They did hover Aphelios, and they did play it yesterday, I believe, but haven't picked it just yet. But obviously, Aphelios has kind of drifted away from the meta with the nerfs, as Xayah is going to be the pickup here for EG, and we'll see what else they want to take here.
Yeah, Xayah picked up. It's still somewhat relevant in the meta. You know, it's a champion that the lethality build has given it some legs, I guess you would say. So it's going to be more defensive, I guess. I guess Ezreal's pretty defensive too. I think Danny is someone who so far in this tournament, as you saw the analyst I was talking about, has been struggling in lane phase. And then even that game when they got out of lane phase, and it should be kind of the moment where, as the game's coming back in their favor, this is where Danny and EG had shined, was their team fighting, and they still got out team fought. And so I think they're continuing to want to give him a little bit maybe more carry potential. Ezreal does have a lot, so I mean, just a different look, I think, for them.
Yep. Again, I think in general, softening things up a little. Obviously, you can have a different plan against a different opponent, but maybe change for change's sake after that game is also not a bad thing. Yeah. Just from a mental perspective, as Graves maybe the final pick here in phase 1 for ORD. Seen a lot of Graves, probably going to continue to see a lot more Graves. Definitely not going to see a lot of Gangplank because it keeps getting banned in phase 2.
We'll have to see if they want to keep pinching this jungle pool. I think with the Wukong ban, the triple bans to Kevy already, as well as the Graves taken away, you're getting pushed pretty far down the pool. Viego taken out. I was wondering if they're going to go J4 Viego. Looks like they're willing to give up the J4. I expect to see Inspire go back to that. Had an okay game on it. And then on the flip side, you see EG with the mismatch in the bot lane, banning out the MF. Understandable for the kind of press R win condition we're talking about. Yep, MF is kind of the quintessential press R marksman.
Big fan. Puma is of the MF. Did actually play it yesterday, not Aphelios, as I think I said earlier. Trinity also a flex pick for ORD, so they'll take that one away as well, especially given the ORD are on the red side, wanting to take away some of the potential counter picks they could have. Yes, BioPanther is the tank man in many ways, but he can play carries as well, as will fall all the way down to Kaisa here for Puma, but not a champion he's unhappy to have.
No, we've seen Kaisa be somewhat relevant. She got a bunch of tweaks coming into it on 12.8 to make her a little bit stronger. So looks like we will see another one of her, and I think it works well with their comp as well. Going in, follow up on the Vex very easily. Nautilus can also start the fight off. Another one of these where Graves kind of shoots his ult over the top. Makes for a pretty clean composition. Happy to see Impact back on the Gwen. I just think he had a great game, the previous one. Even though he got targeted and died, he was 0-3-0 at some point. Every time he died, you saw his skill on the champion, and I think it was one of those situations where better team was playing around you. And so I think with this game, if he can get a little bit of a lead, Impact showed that he can be a monster in late game team fights already. Just needs a little bit better of an early game.
Yeah, you know, for all the love we give to Danny and Jojo, and they certainly deserve it, Impact has had one hell of a season in the LCS, and that is continuing here for the vet on this stage. Back on Gwen, look at that counter pick. It's a spicy one. It
was throw hands.
Corporal's like, yeah, what up? It's Poppy.
Got Poopy in the top lane. Here we go. Not something that he has played. Oh, he played once this split, actually. BioPanther has. And I'm pretty sure he's played it on and off his whole career. One of those. He's had some specialty picks, I guess you could say. And this can be one of them. It's a lot of dashes on the enemy team. It is true. The Gwen, Xin Zhao, Ahri can kind of stuff them all. But I'm not quite sure how the Gwen matchup goes for Poppy. I'll be honest. There's some champions Poppy does randomly really well into, despite the fact that you kind of see her get blasted for a period of time. Like Poppy into Jace, for example, is one where Poppy will be down 40 CS and you're like, sick, I'm winning. Yeah. You know? And then like suddenly you just start chain ganking the Jace, you kill him 6 times, he's useless in team fights, and you make his life living hell. And I'm curious to see how this matchup goes. We'll go and get an early lead. Does Poppy just straight up win? Poppy can be pretty annoying with the Q, the buckler, picking up the shield and all that.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of minutia in those kinds of matchups. Obviously, though, really just a frontliner for Bio. Happy to take some sort of tank here for the team, make sure the team has frontline to go with. Poppy doesn't quite have the engage of a lot of the other tanks, but she's disruptive, especially if she gets into the backline. You can set things up with Keeper's Verdict if you just tap it. That was a change made a long time ago now, but it is a somewhat decent CC, even though it knocks the enemy up into the air, which is different from getting knocked up. I know, very complicated.
Yep, so we'll have to see if the LCO in Order can bounce back from yesterday, catch a reeling EG off a very disheartening loss. And, you know, this is as good of an attempt as they're going to get, it feels like. And I think for Order, they have been an org in the LCO who has always been kind of the bridesmaid, never the bride, getting second a lot of times, being in a lot of finals, not winning a ton of them. And even this one, despite being kind of a lower bracket run, did end up in a full 5-game series that they had to come back in. And a lot of these players as well have a somewhat similar story as well. Even Kisee, when Tally came back to Osh, kind of got his job kicked away. So, you know, Kisee had to go find a new team and stuff like that. It feels like a number of guys who have wanted to kind of get that validation. The org itself being there for so long, but never making it to the international stage, finally getting there, does feel like a very good moment for them, and hopefully they can go make the on the stage. BioPanther being the only one who's been here before. Yep.
Also, I think before that win was the only one with an LCO title. Actually has 3, I believe, if memory is serving correctly. But now, obviously, all of Order have picked one up after a win, and they'll be very happy to be here at MSI, given how many LCO champions went through Order at one point. They've seen a lot of good players, and then those players ended up on other teams.
Spawn was very happy when I asked him, you know, like, what's the rundown on Order? He gave me, oh, well, here's every player you've ever heard of coming from them. And then, yeah, like you said, quite a lot of talent going through there. And I'm excited to see what they can do now.
All right, well, it is red side starts for both junglers. Inspired chillin' on the red buff there. Does have some help though. Danny and Vulcan gonna give him the leash, as Order are already down there to meet the wave. I don't think they're hiding in the brush. Maybe Corporal is chilling. Yes, he is, but they're gonna hit it a little bit here. Is a ward late there for Puma just to see. But EG aren't going to miss too much here. Yeah,
making sure there's no cheese coming down their way. Kaisa Nautilus is a relatively strong early lane phase. One of those old matchups that you used to play quite a lot. Nautilus starts hooked there, but sometimes you take E with the Kaisa Q and you can actually get a surprisingly fast push off level 1 with the AoE from that. And it looks like, based on the fact they sacked that wave and Xin Zhao clearing the top, EG are going to play on the back foot in the bot side, focus more on this top lane matchup that we were talking about with Impact on the Gwen again.
Yep, try and see if they can get Impact some sort of foothold. Feeling good so far. We'll see how the Poppy matchup goes. Great charm out of Jojo. Going to get the electrocute proc as well with pretty much max range Foxfires there procking on Kisee.
Jojopyun is, despite having a rough tournament so far into Caps, remember, Caps is one of the best players in the entire world. Yep. One of the best mid laners of all time. Jojo is actually a very strong laning mid laner. If there is one thing that he excels at, it is that. He had the highest CSD in the league for mid laners and won a lot of matchups. The Ahri in particular was a champ that he was rather proficient on. He landed a ton of charms on people to win these kind of trades, and they can get control of the lane and then start moving around the map. And I think that is going to be one of the key areas with Vex not always being a strong champion lane phase. It's not too uncommon to see the Vex go down some CS, but then have these big pop-off moments around team fights.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you can't perform on this champion as Jojo, right, something does feel wrong. You have been given one of the strongest champions in the meta right now, a mid laner that is constantly kept out of games. So you are expected to perform on it here, but so far so good for Jojo. Vulcan getting nice and aggressive early here. He's going to meet Corporal and potentially Kevy. But supports are going to spot each other. Inspired's here as well. And I think everyone knows what's happening now.
Nice respect there out of Order. It was very tempting when you saw Vulcan there to throw that hook out, but Corporal showing good restraint, given that Inspired could have collapsed on the top side. You had the mid shove for Jojo there, so coming up big, getting that priority. Getting some nice trades, though, by Kisee. You saw, despite the fact he got solo killed by Caps right early on in the game, he kind of bounced back and then started having a great game. And he was one of the key factors for why that game was going in their favor. His playmaking was very good on the Yone. Vex as well has the kind of potential to just start that fight with her ultimate. So I feel like he's going to be someone to keep our eye on in this game a little bit later on, but will probably be shoved in a fair amount early on.
Got solo killed by Cap, and then solo killed Cap.
Yeah, and then continued to make plays over the course of that game. There's a reason they were on the Baron, and it was because they killed someone.
Definitely looking good. They're also a player that, talking to Rusty, said similar to Jojo, not necessarily in skill, but very confident, very unafraid of taking skill checks. So should be very exciting, actually, to watch them both play, especially as skirmishes break out and Vex gets a little more leeway, whereas Ahri's individual agency obviously pretty high in a lot of scenarios, as Jojo is trying to be a bully, holding this way for a little bit as Kisee's teleported back through. Jojo also burnt his TP though, so we'll call it a wash, and the CS is going to reflect that as well so far in the 1v1.
Yep, so far holding out through the lane phase. I will say this draft is a little different than some of the the order drafts that I've seen before. A lot of the times they're very skirmish oriented. In their first game, that was kind of more or less what I expected. A lot of threats in every single lane, a lot of ability to start a lot of fights. This one is a little bit more standard front-to-back team fight, and sometimes we talk about drafts reflecting confidence of opponent. If it's an opponent that you're worried about, you go a little bit more volatile, you opt into more fights, you try and flip that coin a little bit. But here, this is really not a coin flip draft, which I think speaks to Order's confidence in this matchup. Who knows how scrims were going, but at least watching EG on stage, they're saying, hey, I think this is a team we can just straight up beat. And I really like this approach for them because EG has not looked that clean so far. If Order find a good engage and just obliterate Danny like we saw Broken Blade doing or something, like this is a draft that has that potential, and I want to see if they can do it.
And Vulcan trying to set up again. Just dips in the mid, is going to go ahead and recall. Impact feeling pretty good in his 1v1. For what it's worth, is up about a wave and change. I don't think BioPanther's too upset. As you said, Poppy can fall behind a lot of CS and feel happy. And this is well within acceptable bounds.
Uh-oh.
As mid lane, Jojo potentially in trouble. Does have flash and ulti, so should be tricky to pin down the Ahri.
Yeah, saw the fear charge for Kisee. Saw Corporal wrapping around the side. There's been a lot of half roams to mid lane. There's obviously a focus by both teams, but neither mid laner has misstepped enough to open up an opportunity thus far, which does speak highly to Kisee in the fact that he's also up in just straight CS, despite kind of being pushed in for the early portion of that lane phase, doing extremely well for himself.
Smart little play there by Inspired. Looks for a gank in mid, throws out the W, takes a CS. It was all there for just one extra minion. As Jojo just gets taxed a little. Puma and Daddy dueling here in the 1v1, but kinda even. Puma was definitely winning the burst trade, which makes sense. And now Corporal flashing in with the Q, but here's Vulcan on the wraparound. Denny ignited and low though, and Puma can't make his way in. No ulti right now for the Kaisa, and now they're gonna flash in, and Vulcan wants the kill! 1v1, we'll call it first blood for Vulcan.
That was so well played by EG. Vulcan hung around on the back side of that wall, staying out of vision, while Danny kind of ran away, and it telegraphed that, hey, I might be alone here. Baited Corporal into flashing in for that, and then even though the feather pullback by Danny missed, Vulcan is a bloodthirsty support flashing in for that kill. Good to see the bot lane for EG getting their legs underneath them after a very rough start to the tournament thus far.
Yeah, Vulcan also staying active. As you said, both supports have been mid a bunch. Vulcan was also very active in the last game with G2, so still, you know, playing his roaming style, trying to find picks here, support Jojo in mid where he can. I mean, again, it's just a magnet right at this point. The center of the map is just drawing people in. As we do see two members of Order here. Corporal and Kevy setting up. Jojo does that flash, does have ult. The fear's not going to hit, and Jojo stands in place and dodges the incoming hook.
Yeah, Kisee thought that, you know, option select. Kisee put his in case he runs forward. Nautilus throws his in case he runs back.
Oh, you missed it.
He throws the high and the low, and he goes for the mid, just stands still. Both miss. Jojopyun, gigantic brain, stays alive there, but a good look by Order. I like seeing them stay proactive on the map. That could have worked, just ended up missing the skill shots.
Especially bringing the Graves along, right? Kevy not going to add really much CC at all. He's going to take the blue buff though, which is nice to see, and Graves has plenty of burst at level 6 to kind of lend to any sort of play, so do love the attempt. Does miss, but not much of a commitment for Order to try and make the play.
Yeah, it still spills over to that, grabbing that blue buff, but off the reset at level, or excuse me, 8 minutes into the game, the EG bot lane flips to the top side, starts contesting this. Order hanging around in the area, and the Kaisa's making her way up the river. They might actually go for this fight. They do, like we said, have this kind of 5v5 press R composition.
Vulcan, Hex flash in, they're going to go for the play. Jojo with the charm, just takes out Corporal in an instant. Whew.
That is the danger of playing Nautilus and having to be the frontliner. He is notoriously squishy, actually, if you don't get your abilities up.
I was going to say it as well, actually. It's double glacial augment, right? So no aftershock, no extra stats there to be tankier on the Nautilus. You are a sitting duck in many scenarios, that being one of them. Kisee looking for the 1v1, perhaps Jojo lands a counter charm. And Kisee, I think he hit the ulti, but I think he may have run out of time to reactivate it. Not exactly sure, but a good exchange. Jojo holds on to the potential all-in.
Just to think a Q for that fear, actually. Still has the ult up. Looking good, though, for Kisee controlling the lane a little bit more. The CS lead has continued to go. He is a sniper with them Qs.
Looking good. Also, Vex's abilities are all purple and shadowy, so they all kind of look the same sometimes.
A lot of lasers going out. Order not, just giving everything away, though. After getting blown up, go down and flip to the bot side here. Granted, take advantage of that timing window. Here you just see no vision control, just out of sweeper range, too, so there wasn't going to be the silhouette given away that there was a Vulcan in the bush. And just a nice Hex Flash stun on top of him, well coordinated with Jojopyun. And EG, looking good so far. Quick 2-0 lead in their favor, 1,000 gold lead coming up at 10 minutes.
Yep, Dragon was picked up in the replay. Order did start and did finish that Hextech Drake, so we'll have that for themselves, but not too much to worry about here. EG happy with the lead they've got. We'll see where Inspired wants to pop the old Herald. But I imagine they're assuming that, that's worth some amount of gold that the plates will likely get. Maybe Impact a decent target here, although Bio's kept up very nicely. Haven't seen a lot of this 1v1, which makes sense. They've been pretty, vibing on the island here in top lane.
Yeah, I think both teams are actually rather happy to let the Gwen scale, and if the Gwen's not getting snowballed for the Poppy side of the matchup, you go, okay, great, I'm here for the dashes and the team fights. So both teams just kind of ignoring top lane. It does make you wonder, like you said, where this Rift Herald's going to go for EG. Bot lane is a potential option, given that the Xayah is one of the better scaling threats in their teams. Doesn't feel like a split push kind of game for Impact. Like we talked about, Gwen can kind of do everything, split push, team fight.
Yeah, she's good. Even good in poke comps, I feel like. We didn't see it as much in the last one, but just standing between the enemy and pressing W gives a lot of free range.
No one wants to run into that.
No, nobody does. Pretty good champion. I wonder why she's getting blinded so much. Good flash from Kisee as Jojo looks for a play there with Inspired on his right.
All right, we got some tools here at the LEC studio that I've never used before. So I'm going to... What does this do? Oh, hey, look at that. Hey! That's what I wanted to do. And then there's a circle. It's a small circle. Maybe I wanted the bigger circle. Hold on. Let's see what a big circle does. There's a lot of vision. Anyways, that's my point.
Nice.
Made it so not only can they get this pressure from the bot side to drop this turret, but they also gave Inspired that angle to get the gank onto mid lane to force that flash. Then he moves back down to the river. Bot side drops his Herald, snowballing this advantage very quickly. Not only controlling mid lane, but bot lane as well.
Well, good take there for EG. Pick up the first tower gold, get all the plates, give Danny some extra gold, as EG do split it, but they're happy to get continued advantage here, now up 2K.
And I think this is one of the areas of the game where the minor region teams struggle when you go internationally more than anything else. It's not necessarily you get giga skill checked in lane, it's oftentimes how are you moving around the map. It's not skill issues, it's, oh, their mid jungle just took complete control of our bot lane, and now we can't even walk up to our turrets, and now I need to flash gank attempts. And until this point, Order, I think, had been going blow for blow pretty closely, and that's actually what explodes the games more often than not. Or your decision-making around objectives, like their Baron attempt in the previous game.
See how it goes, because it is pretty steady here between these two teams. Some TP's burnt here to maybe get back to mid lane. See if they can't shut them out. Impact wanted to make a play. Inspired on the flank, looking good. Good ulti out of Vulcan. Corporal buffers away, but it's not enough for Kisee. He's going to go down to Inspired.
Nice roam down from EG there from the top side. I know you guys are going to get bored of me doing this, but can I do it again?
I love it, Mark.
Look, it's pretty standard play. You get vision control through the avenues of map movements that you're going to need to use to make plays happen, and then that sets up the play. You don't just show up and try and gank randomly. You go ahead and you set up the vision control so that you can move them through that area and make it happen again. You see how dark it was. Thank you, observers, for this.
One more time. Puma is in trouble. Cleanses a little late, but there is no follow-up. But Vulcan continuing to stay proactive here.
Cleanses in time to sidestep the follow-up charm by Jojo. Gets the summoner out, though, so still a nice play there by EG. And you can see when this team's grooving, how good they can be. Their first two games versus G2, very tough opponents, did not have control of it, but this is what EG did extremely well in North America. When they got the upper hand, their playmaking is pretty relentless, and they can continue to make these plays over and over again. Inspired and Vulcan, in a lot of ways, actually being the engine, like you said before. NA Talon, woohoo! Jojo and Danny get a lot of the hype, but the men behind the scenes are Inspired and Vulcan.
Yeah, absolutely power in the vehicle as it cruises towards a potential first win here for EG. Long way to go here in this game, but so far so good. Order, though, definitely happy to get scrappy in many situations. They got the hands to make some big plays. We'll see what they can come up with here.
The scrappiness angle, you can always just start taking random team fights in lanes, but I also think their comp, like we said, being the 5v5, and these have all been odd number fights so far. We have not actually seen all 5 ready to go except that one Rift Herald situation where Corporal got blown up at the start of it. So we'll have to see at this 15-minute dragon, or 15-second away dragon, if it comes up, do we get this 5v5? Because that's what Order's hoping for. They've already prepped a fair amount of vision there. But EG as a team is sometimes very happy to sack objectives. We talked a lot about that in the previous game for G2, if it doesn't actually advance their game plan. EG, though, might want to go toe-to-toe still.
We'll see. Based on the teleport cooldown situation, I'm going to guess EG are just happy to give it away. And now this map movement, I think, is going to confirm that.
Yep, this is exactly what EG should be doing, to be fair. We talked about 1, Order's team fight being very scary. 2, dragon stacking not in your favor, not really going to accelerate your game plan currently. 3, there's an objective up in the top side. Go ahead, take this Rift Herald while also grabbing the top turret. These 2 objectives being up allows you to go 2 for 1 on the objective trade, and then you can potentially use that to drop the mid lane turret later. So EG focusing on funneling the gold right now.
Yep. And Rift Herald 2 picked up, as you mentioned. As you can see, Inspired currently top in the charts, but Danny close behind him there for EG. That's pretty much where their lead's sitting, which is good news for any North Americans currently up very early in the morning, potentially watching this game.
Got any...
Hopefully you didn't go to bed after the last game.
If you stayed up or just went back to bed, didn't make another cup of coffee. Any NAers in chat? Yeah, let us know. Any Oshers in chat? What do you say? Aussie? Because it's like all of us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you are the like technical representative,
so,
I guess.
Well, so there's Oceania.
Yep.
Then there's ANZ, which is Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
So I don't really know. But this team is all Aussies, I think, from the Order side. If I'm going to offend, if one of the players from New Zealand, it's doomed. I'm actually.
You're not sure.
I've offended the entire
I can
nation.
pull up the roster flags real quick on the website here.
There might be one. There's often one that sneaks in. It doesn't help that the flags when they're small, which they are on the wiki, and at first glance, they look very similar. I think it's different colorations. The format's like the same. So we'll find out. Mark's doing some investigative work.
We'll figure it out. Nope. Well,
right.
Corporal is...
Yeah, he's a dual citizen, I believe.
Yeah,
Japanese. Australian.
Yeah, okay, interesting. I was going to say. Cool. You learn something new every day.
There was I forgot who tweeted this. I'm so sorry, but someone tweeted all the different nationalities of who attended. I think just MSI, or maybe it was Worlds as well. And Corporal asked in the thread, "Do I count for Japan or Australia?" And they're like, "Both." It's like cool. The Vulcan here looking for the ulti. Does miss on the Kisee, but Order going to go back through. Rift Herald here going to make a problem, but that is a kill onto Vulcan. Can't really get out as Leona, so Order take their one. But is there more? Kisee popping the ulti. Looking for Danny, perhaps. But Danny's still with the ulti in the flash, so they'll think better of it. Take the one kill.
Nicely done there by Order, though. It was a little telegraphed. Even though they didn't have good vision control for Order's side, there's one outer turret up left. You probably know where EG's going to go, and so while EG show up at the exact time they want to use that Rift Herald, Order is there to kind of head that play off. The turret still drops, but it leaves Vulcan cut off, because right as Vulcan goes in, Corporal does as well. BioPanther all focused down to 3-man, and so while they don't get that kill, it does leave Vulcan isolated. They find that one cleanup kill, and the Rift Herald charge does finish off the turret, but it does stop the momentum a little bit here after this play. Order has control, able to get the waves pushing in their favor a little bit, get some wards out in the bot side of the river.
And don't forget, you can grab your exclusive scare prize if you want. Fun little Prime Gaming emote there. It's always nice, pick up some free stuff if you have Prime.
Any primers?
Any primers. I thought about it, by the way. I think I'm down for any Osis. I think that's what I'm ready for. I don't know what the correct thing is supposed to be, but
any Osers?
I'm here for Osis.
Osers, all right. You have the official PastryTime blessing to say Oshers?
I think so.
All right.
You could say Anses, but again, you don't want to leave people out.
No, definitely not. So with that play, that does not only give them a little bit of control in the game, they get some wards out, though EG is beginning to make their moves to do it. It does stall the game. Scaling-wise, it's a little tough to say. I think in straight 5v5 team fights, we talked about Order's comp being strong. But neither Vex or Ahri are necessarily insane scalers. Vex does get crazy one-shot potential.
Yes.
I've seen some one-shots in the side lanes. There was a very famous, I think it was a Faker clip of
He's pretty good.
Yeah, so she can always have that instant one-shot, instant-get potential. The one thing that's nice for EG is both the members that you would be looking to one-shot in Danny and Jojo have some ways of trying to outplay it. You'll probably see a stopwatch coming in eventually for Jojo. And Danny just naturally being able to press his alt button as soon as you go in. You can kind of disjoint is not quite the right word, but at least get away from the Vex so that you can stall out before you get feared if you play it correctly. And Ahri just being insanely mobile as a whole.
Yep. It has like GP barrel burst energy, but obviously that's much faster, right? As soon as the barrel hits you, it's done. Vex has to, hit the ulti and then go all the way in and pop all the buttons.
It's relatively telegraphed too.
Yeah.
Like even if you land it, you're like, when's he gonna go? When's he gonna go? But it's not like a 5,000 missile speed thing. Like Vex moves relatively slowly on the way in.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, Kisee confident on the pick, happy to try and find the angles, but for right now we're squaring up in mid. Seeing if we can't find a 5v5. Impact's had enough. He's going either around for a potential flank or back towards the top side, but does want to stick around here. There is a dragon up, and I think EG are figuring they might want to contest here, stop the bleeding at dragon number 3 for Order, but Order are going in. Impact there on the side, but again, the Poppy W looking pretty good, but Impact all the way around. Corporal the target. Corporal will fall. Call the 5v4 now as BioPanther kicks one out with the ulti, but EG already got one.
Nice stuff there by BioPanther on the initial engage, but was not ready for the wraparound by Impact. That Gwen that we were hyping up shows up on the backside to finish off Corporal. And like you said, third dragon coming up. EG did not want to sack that one. They had the advantage yet again of vision from having control of this game. The face check comes through. Corporal, unfortunately, has that responsibility to walk in there first.
Yep.
Gets popped.
Easy pickings there. I mean, again, Nautilus is one of those things, kind of like Alistar with no ulti, right? It's so easy to get a pick.
I always say Nautilus is a feeder champ.
And Kisee maybe on the menu here is going to be a lot of damage done. Impact with the last snip is going to get it. Jojo trying to extend the play. Wonderful dodge there for Kevy away from that charm. So it does prevent a second kill from going over, but EG already got 2 off that play.
That was a good TP there by Jojopyun following up. You could see the extra members of Order debating whether or not they wanted to follow up off that double fear from Kisee, but the teleport coming in meant they could not actually do that, so they had to back off that play and set BioPanther to work on the top side, but now Vulcan's got the inside track on him.
Ooh, what a stun. Glacial Omen going to proc. Probably going to be stuck in the mud for a long time now. BioPanther going to have to fight his way out, and he's going to try and tank as much as he can, but there's just not enough left. Impact's gonna grab one, and Vulcan's not done yet. Corporal, good Q, gets himself safely to the wall, but Vulcan is hunting down Order right now.
Yeah, wheels coming off the train a little bit for Order. Kills in the bot lane, kills in the top lane. You lose track of where everyone is on the map because a bunch of people just died top. BioPanther thinks he's safe, but Vulcan was actually off the reset, heading top lane that entire time. They get that kill. Now it's time for the Baron buff setup. Getting a lot of the vision in the topside jungle here.
Kevy wants the Krugs, will get most of them. But he's going to have to ulti to get himself to safety. Dive is coming. Wraparounds here from EG. Impact happy to start off the play. Corporal with a good Q that will interrupt them there. Pops the ulti onto Danny as well. But Danny keeps on moving forward, and Inspire gets another.
Nice attempt to defend there by Order. Corporal with a bit of an interruption on that play, but just too many men from EG. Too much control over this game. The 4-man able to make that dive happen. Grab this turret as well. And Impact has become the big threat very quickly in these last couple of minutes, grabbing a handful of these kills.
I mean, I think in both games, has looked excellent on the Gwen. Obviously not the same start, but still high impact once you got rolling. This time, he's the one with all the kills, worth all the extra gold. Does have the Nashes now finished alongside the Riftmaker, even a stopwatch in the back pocket. And it looks to be slow and steady here for EG. Gold difference just accruing over time, nice and smoothly.
Yeah, there was that one turret trade back for BioPanther. I'm not sure if the objective bounties were on before or after. I missed that one, but unfortunately, the objective bounties have fallen back off the 5,000 gold lead. Not enough to activate those again, but it is feeling pretty tough for Order to get up to those turrets anyways. I gotta say, when I said the feeder champ thing, for people who don't know what I mean by that, Nautilus, I don't mean people are feeders if they play him, but just he's a champ that when things go wrong, they go wrong very quickly, very bad.
I think Nautilus can go 0-10. And that does not tell you the impact Nautilus had in that game.
Yes.
He either got picked out a lot, or he did a lot of engages and still died. And usually when you're doing anything good or bad, you are going to die.
And oftentimes picked in situations where you might be the only tank on your team, and you're like, I guess I need to run forward here. There is, in this game, the Poppy, but you're not always going to be around your top laner. And so in some of those situations, it's your duty to admirably walk into that brush.
Love the attempt there. Kisee throwing the ulti up, can't quite find the target he was looking for. Big feather pullback there for Danny, getting a couple, I believe. That is going to force a flash from Kisee, getting out from under the solar flare. Vulcan again still hunting for these kills, but EG just pressuring forward constantly, is sticking together. Now actually going to threaten the Baron because they spy BioPanther in the bottom side. Yeah,
BioPanther no TP as well. They might have this timed out, knowing that he can't join for another 10 seconds. And with a vision control, Order having a hard time finding a way in here. I think they don't know if they're fading or not, so they're taking it slow, but EG's going to have this soon if they don't go faster. There's the blue trinket.
Same thing. Nautilus is like, oh, I don't really want to fade check, but I have to, and now Jojo's going to turn around. EG turning off the Baron, but took a lot of damage for it here. Order might be able to find something. Kisee no ulti, and Order can't find the angle.
That's the big one right there. Kisee no ulti means it's much safer for EG to try and force that play, and if there's no way to get insta-give for being caught out of position, you know, you can get that back off of it. A good angle out of EG trying to fish for that one, just couldn't quite find anyone to pick off.
Ooh, nice hit for Corporal. Hex flashing in onto Vulcan we go. Inspired though, straight into enemy territory, onto Puma, forced to flash out though, to pop in the ulti, and now Impact's gonna dance back in. Corporal, it just feels bad, man, but he keeps getting picked on. Impact finds another for EG.
I said it before, won't say it again, but that was a very nice play by Inspired. When Vulcan got caught out of position to go in there and find that 5-man ultimate to kind of disrupt any potential follow-up that comes through here. I do like this by Order, not going quietly, finding their opportunities. That Hex flash over the wall onto Vulcan to set him up as a potential target, but then Inspired goes in here. There's that 5-man ultimate. Make sure that no one else is in danger. While he does need to flash out himself, he's gotten enough people low that Impact gets the nice chase down easily there.
Yeah, just finds the exit. Jojo with a bit of burst over the top. And EG able to find one extra pick there. So the gold lead keeps on coasting forward here. Kevy should be able to finish this off. There is Impact in the area, but not going to be close enough. Kevy is going to keep pushing, but thinks better of it.
Impact does respect the fact as well that there's probably other members up in the top side. So now he's hopping the wall and looking for this fight.
He's like, wait a second. He's all one. Oh, nice TP. I love this from EG. Going to be a 2v2 here as Kisee's joined as well, but Jojo, plenty of mobility. BioPanther's here, and oh goodness. Never mind.
I like that you call it flew up, not guts. Oh, here we go. We might have it.
Oh!
All right, so there's the knock. Yep. I must go. My people need me.
See, I totally didn't lie to you.
Back to space for Leona. Oh, here we go.
Back to French Canada's. We're back in. Impact is still chopping away at BioPanther. Jojo found the first angle as Vulcan comes back down to earth. And BioPanther actually finished off the 1v1.
BioPanther getting the kill, 1-for-1 the team fight, but who cares because Leona's she's skydiving back into the river.
And we're back. EG vs Order. Again, some small trades here. 1-for-1 this time around. Kevy going down on the Order side, Impact on the EG side, but no big opening up of this game, which I think to your point, Mark, flying Leona's aside.
You're trying to be serious and I just can't get there, dude. I'm just thinking of like all those Korea memes. You know, when you play Korean solo queue and they're like, your mom's Sky now, and they just see Leona as Danny's mom trying to protect him, and boom! Up she goes. Just rockets off camera.
This is the best part.
This is a good fight by BioPanther. You see some of the strength. Danny's trying to be like, where are you, dude? Are you coming back down? Woo! The cue's following. Oh my god.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm excited to see that in the highlight reels from this tournament, you know. The historic. The play that started it all for EG on their way to the MSI championship. Leona to the moon.
Alrighty, so Order back up towards the Baron as we center ourselves back into this game here. 2 dragons apiece. EG have stopped the potential snowball towards the Ocean Soul and are still in control of this game despite BioPanther's nice dueling prowess on the Poppy.
Yeah, that was overall, when you're behind in games like this, even trades are technically usually still good for you because you're getting shutdowns and things like that. Obviously, EG's still in a lot of control in this game. They're going to be able to grab this mid lane inner turret. But Order stopped that play from potentially going wrong. There's a lot of vision that they were able to get out during that skirmish as well. So EG have some homework to do before they can actually start out this Baron. That continues to stall the game out. And for Order, their objective right now is to be make sure that there's no Baron that happens for the next 2.5 minutes, so when the Dragon spawns, we can hopefully get a 5v5 there. That's kind of your angle right now because you're not going to split push. Your comp really doesn't do anything but 5v5. It's very limited. And so you just want to make sure Impact isn't making things happen in the side lane, or make sure there's no Baron going on so we can get this 5v5 at Dragon.
And of course, on the flip side, Impact doing just that, sitting here in the side lane. You know, unlikely to get a lot done 1v1 versus BioPanther. Poppy's more than tanky enough here, and Impact doesn't want to meet anyone else from Order in a 1v2. So he's just going to have to curate these waves, play a little slowly, can't fully commit to opening up the side lane, but he is going to be a presence, a pain, a thorn in the side of Order in that bottom wave for as long as he possibly can be.
Yeah, and I think the Poppy counter pick is looking pretty good. Ends up a little bit in farm, but it was an even lane phase. Now in the side lane, Gwen does not have an easy time of using it. I wasn't sure if you were going to need to go like a Warmogs to stay topped off and even in the fight, but just Poppy on her alone stun with how many resists she gets and stuff like that seems to be doing A-okay in this matchup now, despite the Gwen also being hella fed in kills. You know, definitely a worthwhile counter pick, it looks like. We'll see if other teams will take note. It's always interesting to see what tech is snatched up as mid lane.
Vulcan with a big play. Kevy just barely flashes away at the last minute. And Danny is going to get feared up, but Kisee can't follow up. Danny was feared for a while, but not enough burst.
I was going to say, I wonder if that was a potential opportunity there. You know, Danny does have all of his summoners and his ult up, so it very easily could end up in a situation if Vex like flashed in to try and follow up damage that you just get baited. So a little touch could go there, but EG do end up okay.
Yeah, Impact also had enough time there with what was happening in mid to push up in the wave and just hit the tower down nice and quickly. BioPanther can't get you off the tower, can't kill the wave fast enough. So Impact does grab one there. Also, Jojo is continuing to be himself. He only got 2 stacks on his Dark Seal, but still he has some Magi's.
That book is very
Optimistic.
short.
Yeah.
It is a...
He's young. He doesn't want to read a long book.
Children's picture book?
Yeah, just flip it through.
Not an epic fantasy tome? Door stopper? Oh, okay. Hopefully his reading comprehension scales with this game a little bit more. We'll have to see if he can get some more pages in that book.
EG, though, continuing to show presence around the Baron. They've had a good amount of vision control. If Vulcan face checking, he's happy to do so. Gets a flash out of Corporal, pops the ulti in order reset.
Yeah, get the flash out, but nice chunk by Kisee. Dangerous position, nice footwork. Gets out there, and again, like we said, just stopping EG's potential plays around the Baron, these kind of face checks that they're forcing, never dropping. Does suck that Nautilus loses his flash right before this Dragon fight, but they still have all their ultimates available to make a play happen.
Inspired a little ahead of his team, but the team's going to rejoin him. Now Inspired's going to go for it. Knows that they can cut them off here. Daughter are missing 2 right now as Impact is going for it, but BioPanther
the flank,
cutting them off nicely, and now EG are stuck in a potential pincer. Corporal and Kevy, they're still going in. Inspired finds Corporal again, the Nautilus. The first one to pick off, they can grab it, and Danny will collect that kill. Yep. Vulcan still going, finds Kisee with a slow off the augment, but nothing following up for EG as they start the Dragon.
I thought for sure Kisee and Puma were going to want to go there. Hold on.
Kicks out 2, Vulcan goes in! Oh no, the teammates got kicked away, and Puma able to get the kill. Order still now can run the 5v4. Jojo's so far away. The Dragon's loose, Kevy's got it. They're going to go back through. Danny low, but they're still fighting as Jojo dashes on in. Puma the target. Danny tries to make it happen, and Jojo collects the kill. Danny with the fancy flash off the back of the ult. He still dies to Bio at the end of it all, but EG are going to win that fight despite Order getting the Dragon.
Order get the Dragon. It's actually a relatively even fight. 2 for 2, both bot lanes dropping, everyone else getting out. He should be able to TP away safely. No CC to interrupt that one. And Order played that fight. Initially, I did not like the angle. I thought very early on in that fight, it looked like a decent opportunity for Order. Then I thought the moment passed, but BioPanther with that ult ejecting everyone out made it very scrappy and shows the power that their comp has when executed well. We'll have to see. This angle right here, right before this replay started, I thought they were going to go where EG was kind of getting pincered there, but then once it gets this split, there's no way for your backline to actually get involved here, so Kisee and Puma can't go flying in. This is when I think, okay, choke point is now under EG's control. It's going to be very hard to walk through, but this ejection of both the young NA talent yeeted back to America so that they can take this fighter at the Dragon allows them to get that kill on the Vulcan. Then because Inspire's under so much pressure, he's not really able to focus on getting a good smite off. And then when Jojo and Danny get back into the pit, they actually got so low, I was worried that they were going to get killed inside the situation. Danny is a very aggressive team fighter going all the way in. Almost kited that one out, but just the burn down from BioPanther a little bit too much there. Makes it an even 2 for 2 overall in that fight, and Dragon in Order's favor actually puts him out ahead.
Yep, Bio getting away. Jojo though, reading comprehension up. 8 pages now in the book. Did collect a lot of assists off the back of that play.
He's officially reading YA now. He's gone from children's book to YA. Soon he'll be reading fiction, and then maybe some non-fiction memoirs.
Just actual encyclopedias.
What is the like James Joyce? I guess is 25 stacks.
Yeah.
Like you just have such good reading comprehension, you can read that crap.
Yeah. I think that's the.
This is like Harry Potter. He's not like Harry Potter right now.
See if Hope is enjoying it. This Danny 3-0, sorry, Jojo, not Danny. 3-0-4 on the Ahri. Has showed up on the pick as we asked, you know, if you get this pick, if you take it early in draft, it is a big priority for lots of teams. You do need to perform, and he's doing so right now, but we'll cut that because EG are on the Baron once again. Order just have to slowly get vision. They're going to commit a teleport as well.
Yeah, it's Kisee's TP. Here we go.
Yeah, EG, they're starting the fight again. It's Corporal loose to the front line. And EG turn back to Baron.
Yep, there's that bait. Now they'll have to see if Order can get one more contest here with BioPanther.
Oh no, they're not even gonna let him flip it. Kevy gonna get lipped on there, but BioPanther locking up a lot in the back line. The burst was decent. Killer stalls the ulti, but BioPanther is eventually gonna die. Danny, Gale forces in, pops the ulti. He's gone absolutely wild as Kisee goes back in with the ulti, but can't get a kill. It's Puma that collects Danny, but EG still stand tall with 4.
EG grabbing 3 of the members of Order, turning back on the Baron. Should be free now. Kevy still is around, does have Smite up. We'll see if they're gonna go for one more contest here. EG might have counter the chains before they hatch. No teleport back in for Jojo. He should be the one on zoning duty to stop Kevy from getting into this pit.
The 2 marksmen are alive. It's a bit scary here, but it's 4v2. Puma, though, dishing out damage,
nice
dodging that charm as well. Kevy, again, is going to be the target. They need to kill this jungler. They will. But now Corporal's back, and Puma's forced to cleanse away. Jojo with a charm! Max Rage on the Puma. Threads the needle. Beautiful stuff. And an actual factual ace for EG. They're going to give them the Baron, or maybe they want to go down mid. They'll go back to Baron, though.
Pick after pick after pick for EG. They just stay on that Baron, keep forcing Order to face check, and just so many tools for turning off. Jojopyun having his ultimate, the Leona, the Xin Zhao. They kept finding people one after another until finally the Baron will be free for them to take.
Almost there too, Mark. 24. The final few pages of Ulysses. As EG are going to take down this Baron as I watch this one again.
Yeah, so like we talked about, Corporal, not in an enviable position. BioPanther should realistically be the one going in first there. There is enough other people that you should say, like, hey, I'm going to die if they go on me. BioPanther needs to go in, because once he's dead, there's nothing for him to do. But you can see how a little bit extra CC from a Nautilus could have turned this fight. The damage is actually quite good for Order. Kisee, when he goes in here, you know, he sees this angle to finish off Danny because he has the ult on top of him, snipes him through the rest of the members, kills it, but then no follow-up for anyone else. And now it's a 4v2, and you kind of get these bait situations where it's just so hard for 2 marksmen to realistically walk up the Baron.
Yep, reset for Jojo, TP's back in, finds the last pick they needed, and then EG don't let Kevy into the pit, don't go for any sort of 50-50, just take out the enemy team, take the Baron, and coast on down to a hopeful game win off the back of this Red Bull Baron.
Red Bull Baron looking good, especially with the dragon spawning. Means that's going to be very hard for Order to contest this one. If they could have stalled out that Baron a little bit longer, you get into that kind of soul flip situation where maybe Order can walk away with that. But because the Baron gets under their control, that means there's no objective to cross-map with. That also means that you have the priority in the bot and mid lane to go ahead, grab that dragon. Now they're going to start working on these next inhibitor turrets, excuse me.
All right, well, Danny's aggression definitely showing off. He was actually nearsighted in that replay I saw. He just popped the ulti in the grave smoke screen.
He was like, I'm probably going to die if I don't do this.
A good play there. EG, though, just waltzing on in. Jojo with the mid wave already curated. EG ripping through that bottom inhibitor tower, and it just falls. Order, maybe one last play left in them. Going to have to find something here, because EG, an unrelenting siege here right now.
Yep, their comp has one thing that does, goes in team fights, and they're going to need to pull the trigger eventually here around one of these turrets. Not bad to do it against one of these side lane ones where they have the wall a little bit harder for them to kite. Also gives Poppy a few more angles potentially, but in the meantime, Impact's just kind of being left alone. It's like a bit of a 4-1 here where he just does so much damage on his own at 6-1 and 7 that Impact can be the kind of objective taker, the structure destroyer, while the 4-man sits a little bit away from him.
Yep. The structure snipper.
Ooh, there you go.
Does take it in.
The sculptor.
Going back through. Inspired again, keeping them away. Impact even going aggressive. Oh my goodness, Gwen W is a good ability. Just immune through the Nautilus hook that's incoming. And EG with a lot of time left on this Baron still. 40 seconds to shove in and try and take out this Nexus.
Yep, just controlling these two waves. They have no wave in the top lane. Looks like they want to end now.
Jojo, big play! They found it onto Puma. A very nice one round there. As EG will find the final fight they need. Jojo will finish his reading. Another charm's gonna land, and EG will take the ace and their first game of MSI 2022.
First international win for the young guns from North America. They picked that one up. Inspired, Vulcan Impact, they've been here before. They obviously not too thrilled so far with the tournament, but it's gotta still feel good to get that first one.
Controlled by EG, showing off a lot of what we saw domestically from them. Inspired and Vulcan continuing to push the team forward. And then when the big moments were there for the youngsters, they show off.
Yeah, I think you saw a little bit more out of Jojo and Danny this game, why people were excited about them. Jojo made a lot of great plays. Danny had a much better laning phase. And, you know, Order, you could see what their draft wanted to do. Just too many of the team coordination situations went wrong for them with that vision control in the first, like the mid game, I guess is where you'd say it really went wrong for them.
And also,